Hello, this is Joe from Uhan Performance, and right now seems like a really good time to talk about home office ergonomics. I've already had a few clients reach out to me to ask about this as we are hunkering down in our homes to work. And so I wanted to show you a little bit of a desk setup. This is my wife's setup, so it's not necessarily perfect for me, but I'm going to walk through a couple things that are important for you to think about, because we're going to be here for a while, and to do this well without having aches and pains, it's really important to have an efficient setup. And so the first thing we have to talk about is the seat height. And the most important thing for seat height is to consider this idea of having the legs go downhill. That's the simplest thing that we can do, and the reason that's important is it sets the pelvis to be in a neutral position. If I am too low, it's more likely than if my pelvis, the hip will drive my pelvis into an inefficient position, and now I'm in a stressful position for my neck and back. So having an adequate chair height or an optimized height with thighs downhill now sets my pelvis in a position to be straight up and down. And so as we move our way up, the next thing that we want to do is we want to actually use our chair back. A lot of people will wind up sitting like this, and that's not necessarily good because we don't want to be stuck in this position, nor do we want to be here, we want to be middle. And so after we've got our seat height, we want to actually use our chair back, and if need be, fill this space with a pillow or something so it feels like you're actually supported in a straight up and down position. Once you're there, it's pretty darn easy to actually keep your neck where it needs to be. Unfortunately, unless you have a headrest, it's really not a great idea to recline. If I were to recline, what generally happens is my spine goes this way, but if I want to engage with my work, here's where my neck is. And so unless you have one of those space-age like computer chairs that actually has a headrest, it's not a great idea to recline, and instead you want to be as upright as you can. Now when it comes to the setup itself, the keyboard tray, and the computer, same thing, we want to be downhill. And again, this isn't perfect for me, but a setup here allows a downhill slope of my forearm. And the reason that's so important is if it's an uphill slope, look what happens to my shoulder. If I start typing like this, I drive my shoulder up into my neck. That creates muscle tension, compression of the neck and the nerves in here, and it's going to make you miserable. And then finally, you want to have your screens at a level so that your your screens are basically straight ahead. The last thing to talk about is then standing desks. So some of you may have a standing only or a sit or a stand desk. Those are great options. However, it's just as challenging, if not a little bit more challenging, to maintain a posture neutral in standing. And so if you go back to some of my other resources about posture with respect to running, we talk about stacking and angling and making sure that everything is stacked straight up and down from head, shoulders, trunk, onto pelvis, onto legs here. And then of course your height is the same thing. You're going to want to be downhill on whatever surface that you're at. So last but not least, the most important thing for sort of a home office setup is making sure you get up and move around. Because whether it's sitting or standing, neither one is a really great thing to do all the time. So get some work done, but maybe set a timer for every hour, making sure that you're getting up and doing something. So if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me online at uhanperformance.com, and good luck.